Welcome to Baron's Drift School, Lesson 2 on Assetto Corsa, featuring the Mark IV Toyota Supra Drift Edition. Shortly after this intro I shall give you the full setup for the car and I will demonstrate my techniques that I use to drift this wonderful car.
Letting go, times we might feel compelled, looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control when we feel like the world is against us. We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past.
And for those wondering what is the turbo set to, it's set for myself, I keep it around 80%, but obviously I can't show you on one of these screens because it doesn't show that bit of information. But you can run it also at 60%, it's quite happy to do that for more slower corners and more tighter corners, but for big long sweeping open corners it's good to have it around 80% for that nice bit of power. Just in case you're using a PS4 controller, here is my setup just in case you want to use it. So once you've applied those settings and you've saved it, as I appreciate that the game recently, well ever since its launch, it keeps forgetting the setups. No matter how many times you save them, they keep forgetting them. Well, it keeps happening to me at least. So if you're having the same issue, just look in the video description below and you'll see a timestamp of where the setup is, so then you can easily find it again if it forgets your setup, which is annoying in everyone's situation. Right. Also, another thing to point out, make sure you great start to the episode. Make sure your traction control switched off, because sometimes it leaves it auto on, which is just really annoying. Check your turbo, we want ours at 80%, and we're off. We're going to take it gently for the first few corners and get settled in and start talking about the characteristics of the car first of all. Now, even though the turbo's quite high really compared to what it's set to stock, which I believe it's 60 at stock, I might be wrong on that, and it is still, I've lowered it quite a bit, but it still has that bit of body roll, so being smooth with it is the real goal. Here it's just flat out opposite lock. Just keep it going to here, onto the brakes and the handbrake, down to second gear, up into third. Now that is one characteristic you will notice with this car, the weight of it. It's not the heaviest car in the world, but you can feel it. When it's going around the corners, it feels like it just wants to go further and further wide. It's not understeering or oversteering in any sense, I mean it just wants to keep going on the track that it's going. It feels a bit more like a train than a light and nippy car. But this is where the advantage of having that 80% on the turbo comes in. I can just put it into fourth, dump it, and just manage the opposite lock. And try not to hit my arse on that wall. It's a very simple car to drive. The reason why this is featured in Lesson 2 is because it's a power upgrade from the original lesson, from the first lesson. It's got a bit more power, there's more to play with, and it certainly feels like a step up. It's way more capable, because you have that power to just extend the drifts where you wouldn't be able to in the BMWs, for example. Now, into third gear. Balance it. I'm constantly opposite throttle, opposite lock. Oh, it's been a long day, don't judge me. Still full on the throttle, now onto the brakes, bit of handbrake, down into second, let go of the foot brake. Up into third, just to extend it. And then just watching that back end, because it's going to want to come back out, even when you're trying to just straighten up out the corner. I mean, if I drive this car normally round one of these corners, I'll show you in a minute. I'm having too much fun to stop drifting, to be honest. Right. I'll go around this next corner normally, so as if you were just driving a nice smooth line. And I'll show you at the point where the car decides it wants to drift. There. So as long as you're well acquainted with the usual techniques of drifting, especially when it comes to a normal rear-wheel drive car, then you shouldn't have any real problems with this. It's nicely balanced. It doesn't do anything too untoward. It's almost quite relaxed in some ways, even though it's just screaming. It's quite relaxed to actually drive and drift it. It doesn't feel like it's going to bite my head off. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap on me. The body isn't too stiff. It's not just going to flick around. I've got time to react to what the car's telling me. There, just onto the handbrake, go over the sleeping policeman, up into third. Now, this car becomes ridiculously easy once you've got used to it. It really is ridiculously easy. I've been taking this car onto all different sorts of tracks and just seeing what can it not do. And it can do slow corners, it can do fast corners, it can do really long sweeping corners. And it's a car that I'm really happy to share with you because I put a lot of effort into my setups. And originally I used to do that just for myself. But now I know that there's people out there that are benefiting off this setup as well as me. It makes me even more happy to present this to you. I can't see it taking long to get used to this. I mean, this setup, I've not driven it for the last couple of hours because I took a break and went and did something else on a different project. And I come back, settled into this car straight away, within a lap. It's a glorious car. It's a shame we can't use it currently online in the drift sessions, but you can take this car offline on any track you want and just enjoy it. I mean, I don't know why I went up into fourth there, but it's still got that power to just keep bloody going. Holding the handbrake, tapped on the foot brake, back onto the throttle, just feeling it. Now onto opposite lock, up into third, power it out. It's wiggling there, but with just a little bit of opposite lock all the way snaking down that little bit of straight. Opposite lock, balance the throttle, all very traditional techniques, nothing absurd and nothing weird. And it's just down to how well you can balance the car and how smoothly you can do it. And that's where the fun of it comes in for me. So if we come in here, that is really satisfying. Just, oh. Going round corners like that, big long corners, and just dumping it in fourth gear and just, oh, it is glorious. The longer corners, the bigger corners is where this car really shines. Slower corners, it's a bit big for what it is, but it can manage to get round them if you're a bit careful and a bit more precise. And then when it comes to the big corners, you can just dump it, give it full beans, which is throttle for people that don't understand that, and just really enjoy it. I mean, here, I shouldn't really be putting it in fourth, but it's still capable of doing it. Flat out, opposite lock, it just... a bit too quick in there, I'll hold my hands up. Also, I completely didn't realise. I thought I was in a lower gear than I was. Oh, this car is such a bundle of joy. It's a great thing. From the first DLC pack as well for the game. I mean, they've got to keep this up. More cars like this, please. Be much appreciated. Ah. Now, on that note, what can you expect from the later lessons in this series? Well, it all depends on what the game supplies. Let's see what cars come. Let's see what challenges there are, and let's see what we can conquer. Keep it sideways, keep it beautiful. I'll see you in the next video. For now. Oh.
Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for.
I'm spinning around. Move out of my way. Wait, am I? Oh, still recording. You didn't just hear me sing along to Kylie Minogue. Video's over. Roll the outro.